Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Today, there's big news actually is coming from Games Workshop. Over in Warhammer Community, they are going to be streaming their big Not Warhammer 40k preview event. I'm pretty sure that after what feels like several months now of hype and Games Workshop basically pushing 10th edition as much as they can, we're all pretty much burnt out from that. So what they're going to be doing today in around about 10 minutes time is going through some of their other games. We're going to be looking at hopefully new stuff for Age of Sigmar, for Horus Heresy, Warcry, Warhammer Underworlds, and Warhammer the Old World. Games Workshop already dropped a video a bit earlier on that hinted that Epic was coming back in some kind of form. For me, I've got the stream going on in the background. We're going to go through it. We're going to get my hot takes, my live reactions for that. Hopefully it should be a little bit of fun. And yeah, of course, I'm hoping for some good stuff coming from Warcry. We'll see. I mean, we've seen the Warcry roadmap, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be Crypt of Blood. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see something of the new warbands that we're going to have in the autumn time. Joining me today, I've got Charles, if he wants to say hi.
Hi there.
Hello. He's going to be joining us. He's much bigger on the old Epic side of things than I am. Charles, I don't know if you saw earlier on today, there was some very small videos.
A very, very small video of very, very high-pitched
Space Marines. Horus, yes, that's the guy.
High-pitched Horus declaring that the galaxy will burn in a very small scale.
It's always burning. But yeah, we're going to check it out. I'm going to go over to the other screen now, and yeah, hopefully we'll have some stuff. I think Epic is probably the most interesting thing that they're potentially going to show. Correct me if I'm wrong, I think the Aeronautica Imperialis planes are in the right scale, right? For the Titans that they did for Titanicus?
Yeah, they should be scaled to the same scale as the Titanicus models.
Yeah.
There was a slight thing about, well, actually, are they the right scale? Because there were things where the Arvis Lighter is meant to be able to land on like a landing pad on a slightly bigger Titan, and it's a bit. Is it actually the right size? Is it a little bit too large? Is it too small? Are the Titans themselves not exactly the scale they should be?
Yeah.
Seeing as they're meant to carry like the 5-man crew in the head, plus like 30 servitors or something strewn throughout the body.
Yeah.
Because we haven't had any new official figures in the same scale as the Titans.
That's true.
Because like the Nemesis Warbringer has the 40k scale one has a guy sitting on top with a little telescope, but there is no comparison model for the Titanicus scale
extremely small blob of
in
on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, because I always thought the Aeronautica looked bigger than the Titanicus stuff.
It is, but it should, because they've scaled the Titans down essentially from old Titan scale. Because old Epic was on a series of different scales.
Sure.
Depending on essentially what it was. The infantry and the tanks were the same scale, but the Titans were wildly smaller than they should be.
Yes.
For size from what had been like quoted in like, oh, it's 300 feet high, but when you looked at it compared to a Lehman Russ, it wasn't.
Yeah, so I always remember like one of the first models that I ever got for Epic was a Lamb Reader.
And these tiny little boxes.
And they're these tiny little boxes, and it was like, well, this isn't the right size, surely.
Well, so the Titanicus, I believe, is scaled to the new scalings that they wrote for them, and scaled to 6mm.
Sure.
I believe. Which is what old Epic was also meant to be. It was meant to be, I believe, 6mm scale infantry and vehicles.
Yes.
There's other games that do this, do 6mm, 15mm, 10mm scale. Sometimes they have a slightly different scale for aircraft over other vehicles, just to represent that they're smaller because they're meant to be further away.
Yes.
The old Father Ted sketch of that's very large and close, that's very small and far away. And it does make sense that you don't need a plane that in real life is bigger than a tank being too much bigger than a tank on a battlefield, because it just can get in the way. Especially if your aircraft are only doing like they come in for a turn, then they fly off again.
Sure.
It's also bad on a 40k table because everything on 40k scale is scaled to each other.
Yes.
And you have a lot less stuff.
Oh, it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, but and again, I believe the new Aeronautica and new Titanicus are meant to be the same scale.
It's the same scale.
But yeah, if this is so, if it's only Horus Heresy, it does make it easier on them because that means they only really have to make Marines,
Yeah.
which you can then paint in your favorite color.
Mhm.
If they do Imperial Army, that is just one force, and then Mechanicus, that's a third force.
Yes.
So it's a relatively small amount of stuff they can begin with. If the game does gain traction and does continue, they can then branch it into Warhammer 40,000 and bring all the other factions in.
Yeah.
But we may only see a Horus Heresy level. It'll be
Sure.
good if I don't think the Titanicus rules will be compatible, or the aeronautical rules will be compatible,
Mhm.
but the models should be. So they'll
Yeah.
have their
Yeah, of
own.
course.
They'll have separate rules for Titanicus rules. Oh,
Yeah.
it's starting.
There we go. Here they are.
Warhammer is a huge
Listen,
and great hobby with loads of exciting games and different settings.
Look at these two guys.
People stuck in the office at the weekend having to run the stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just having a look at the chat. Lots of skates. Some people have mentioned Skaven. Might see a little bit of
Skaven. We're going to see one Skaven hero.
a little bit of
Yep.
something.
But they already had, didn't they have that box against the Sylvaneth with their one Skaven hero?
Yes, it was an assassin.
Yeah.
It was a really nice assassin.
So we're going to get another Skaven hero.
Is a Sigmar.
Cities of Sigmar.
I do like them.
The launch box. Oh, so it's new.
Yeah, so this will be how they do everything. They do like here's the new faction. Here's a box with their stuff in it.
Yeah. Those are the tallest horses in the world.
Yeah, they're Empire horses.
With
Bred to be big.
bred to be big.
Ooh,
She's got a lie. I would say it's a manticore.
Is it a manticore? Is it...
Surely. Like your classic manticore has like the body of a lion with the tail of a scorpion and wings of a
Oh, yeah.
wing thing, I think. I do like the new Cities of Sigmar stuff. I think they really hit it on the head with the design.
Well, they are tied together well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it could just be the angle of the knights, but their horses do look like they have long legs. But it also looks like
Yeah.
a lot of them are on like bits of rock.
Yeah, like they're all like trotting, so
Mm.
they're almost not on the ground.
Okay, but yeah, updating the old knights to new models.
Yeah.
Oh, whoops.
With their old like, I mean, you've still got those, right? You have a massive Empire army.
Oh, I've got a
if I
bunch
remember.
I've got a bunch of knights. Yeah.
Now, these guys we've seen already, so this is hardly a preview.
Yeah, it's just because they're in the box.
Yeah, this just happens to be in the box. Relic Envoy with the little head who's like, "Meh."
Yeah, but
I'm
it's
your
also
ancestor.
interesting, it's like a leader and a mini leader in a box.
Yeah,
And it's like a two unit leader.
yeah, because it looks like if you look at the first like picture in the box, it looks like he's got the Relic Envoy's head. No, it's slightly different. Okay, fine.
Yeah, there's a slight difference.
Hmm.
They've both got like swept overhead hair. So. And again, they're on these massive tactical rock bases.
Oh yeah, you got to have those Kragnos rocks like for everybody.
And then you have to cover it in like a pile of sand so it blends into the base.
Yeah, advising the marshal with the little head. That's totally not necromancy.
Yeah, Grandad, what do you remember about this area? It's full of elves.
Nagash would like a word. I like this guy, the Warforger.
He looks very chaosy.
He looks very chaosy. Well, he's got like the runes of the winds of magic. If you look at his cape. Cape? No.
Yes, on his
Whatever it
his
is.
apron. Yeah,
Apron.
and his.
The dwarves would like a word. Strengthening the metal in Sigmar's armies. Who does that, Charles? Yeah, that's killed his back. You could not kill him. Didn't he actually, like, he legit turned into a necromancer at the end of Final Fantasy?
Well, didn't he turn into one of the Mortars?
Possibly. I mean, Nagash was doing a lot of fruity stuff back then. But this is cool. I really like this model a lot.
Well, he's a buffer, debuffer, and he's not on a rock.
He has a rock, but that's like a piece of slate, I think. If that thing is modeled into his base,
That's an add-on.
everyone needs a Kragnos rock.
This is like halfway between a wizard and an engineer kind of thing.
Yeah. Like very much dwarf runesmith. Free guild steel helms. With helmets made of iron and not steel, because steel is expensive. They are extremely well equipped for what supposedly the basic infantry of the cities are like from commoners.
Well, no, but the troops are from the common, but the city supplies the army.
It's true. Yeah, that's true.
And that was the whole thing with the regiment system in the old game. Was
Hmm.
again, the cities outfitted their soldiers.
Yeah. The soldiers were bad, but
Yeah,
they had the stuff.
yeah. The banner's nice but huge.
It is massive.
Maybe I'd clip the 2 extra pennant bits off probably. and then
Yeah, maybe you can kind of see where you can just make them small, like little points.
Yeah.
I like that it's got. So normally, if you had a banner like this, that bit of rope wouldn't be there if it was like
Yeah.
old Games Workshop, and that banner would snap.
Yeah.
Almost
Apparently,
immediately.
the guy on the right hand side is a battle priest, who's part of the unit.
Okay, he's got like a little sword, so I guess it's what's it, a more reliquary. I'm just looking at his style of his armor and weapons. If it's like an alternate build for one of the guys, or if when you buy your 10 dudes, you get your battle priest, and you're going to have to build a battle priest.
I think you get a battle priest as part of the unit.
The tallest horses on the planet.
Is that like a gnome with a shell on it on the middle one at the bottom?
No. Oh yeah, it's a walking snail.
Yeah.
Yeah. We saw it
Beautiful
actually.
model.
This was shown off. I think more than half of these models were shown off already. But yeah, it's the amazing walking snail that's just like thinking around in Sigmar's lands. We got cards, we got books.
Intentionally blurred so you can't.
The Free Guild Marshal with its movement of 3.
Okay, so they have
Wound
Human orders, Duradon orders, Aelf orders. Okay, so you get special. You can include different things in, and you get some.
Yeah, but these are very much going to be the human element of Cities of Sigmar.
Yes, yeah.
I think the dwarf models still hold up, like most of them do. Some of the newer dwarf things, I think, still hold up.
The plastic dwarves would probably fit in fine. Some of the older ones are a bit small.
Yeah, I think for the elves got like at the end of Warhammer Fantasy and like beginning of Age of Sigmar, elves got big old range refresh anyway, so they kind of on new.
It was just the human models that were a bit old.
Yeah. There it is. Look at you! I'm going to kill you with my.
Ahala Vedra, Lioness of the Parch.
That's a manticore, right? Sure.
Yes, yeah, that is a manticore. Because it's got the lion body with the.
Yeah, it's like a classic manticore with like the proper scorpion tail.
Yeah.
Started as a mercenary. Yeah. She doesn't actually sit down on her steed, she stands on it, as all the best generals do.
You can make a generic.
Nice.
You can make a generic, or you can make the character, most likely.
I kind of like her helmet. That's really fun.
Yeah, she's got some nice bits.
And the line's fantastic. Like, they've done a really good job on this. It's like the only other comparable Games Workshop line model is like the White Lions. Or no, the White Lion Chariot, that's it. And those lions were pretty good, but that was...
This is very much a lion.
A lion, yeah. Not like a high fantasy lion. This is, I'm going to eat you. A lot of texture on that model. If you can dry brush, this is where we're going. Horus Heresy now.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the Cerestus Knight.
The plastic one that we've already seen.
Cerestus. Yeah. Well, it's just the resin kit made plastic.
Yeah.
But most likely will make it a lot easier. Yeah, there we go. It's got the different options, which is fantastic.
And they also said 31st millennium, right? So this is...
So this is for Horus Heresy.
Horus Heresy, exactly.
Yeah. And again, since we saw it in plastic in a Titanicus scale, it was like, well, it's only going to be so long before it comes to 40k.
Yeah, for sure.
The great thing about it, though, is going to be the weight saving from going from resin to plastic and not being solid chunks of resin.
It's true.
But also, it will be... There should be the chaotic version as well, most likely.
I would hope so.
Coming soon in plastic.
Well,
one brand new knight.
I know. I don't know how I feel about this Games Workshop saying, "Oh, here's a new kit."
Two models. It's one model.
Yeah, but it's like this model exists today. You can buy this model.
Again, if they've done the sensible thing, it will be one for his legs, one for his body, one for his arms and associated bits.
Yeah, then they can swap it out.
Yeah. But also means you could just buy the weapon sprue.
Yes.
I mean, but
it's nice.
Unless you're a good knight pilot who doesn't commit atrocities.
Well, yeah, but the knight has committed atrocities. I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Like that soul bonding process or whatever. Don't Tau do a similar thing with their battle suits, right?
No, the Tau pilots start losing their sense of self is the thing.
Because they
And they're
fuse with
like,
the AI.
well, no, if they spend too long, they feel like, oh, I can fly, and they start trying to jump off buildings because they go a bit senile.
Well, when you got like a 30-year lifespan, you might as well settle.
Yeah.
Anti-infantry variant that can't
It's-
reach below its knees.
Yeah. Well, that's why it kicks things. That is the thing. The other Imperial Knights are a little bit squatter. These are a bit taller.
I get it. Vulcan Megabolt, yes, very much anti-infantry. But a sword?
Sweeping sword. Well, you sweep it across the ground.
You give it a pair of Vulcan Megabolts, do probably a better job for you.
If you could, but
If you could. Can't you? Is that not an option?
no, that is the option.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. They'll be cheaper. Will they, Games Workshop? Will they?
Yeah, barely.
Your standard Imperial Knight is £100. That will be interesting. They're saying that they're making the chain feed easier to pose. It could be that it's built in like several sections, and
It's
they
like
kind of
segmented, like the
yeah.
You remember the Necron Forge World thing?
Yes, yeah. So instead of it actually being one piece of plastic in a loop, it's possible like it's pieces you attach together.
You know what? It might be like several ball and socket joints.
Yeah,
which will be a nightmare to build. But if they did, I think it could be pretty cool.
I think it might be more that they clip into each other, so you have to like build them in order.
In chunks, yeah.
But it gives you a little bit of flexibility.
Yeah.
Underworlds.
Okay, what we got?
Skaven. Plague monks. Ooh.
Ooh. We need new plague monks, like really.
Warpstone rat.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's gonna be the best model.
Yeah, it'll be compete for crab.
Yep.
Fanatical worshippers of disease. Well, they look good.
I am liking what I see.
They look real good.
Yeah,
Like sensitive bands, plague priest, Warpstone rat, yeah. Well, they look great. Okay. Well,
they are fantastic.
Those are the new undead guys that were released like a few weeks ago. Okay, so this is going to be another instance of buy these models. If you play Warcry like me, buy these models, put them on store because they're going to disappear. You probably won't.
If you play Skaven, buy these models.
Yeah, buy like 12 of these boxes so you can have a proper unit of plague sensor bearers and all that kind of stuff. Get enough of them. That's pretty good. They're like 2 generic dudes, 1 plague priest.
Well, they're all characters, but yeah. They're getting a lot better with their smoke effects as well.
They are, yes. I think it was like, what is it? The Screaming Bell, you know, that's got the ultimate build.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's when they really, like, this style of smoke, I think you really saw that there. They've kind of just gone with it, which I do like. It's more stylized. But yeah, I'll probably get this just for when eventually, maybe, possibly, at some point in the future, it gets Warcry rules. Just because it looks great. And Skaven are solid in Warcry.
Yeah. I mean, you could even just use them as plague monks in Warcry if you were doing a Skaven.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, until they're like release. We need like good new Rat Ogre sculpts. Like they did some really cool ones for Island of Blood, but they never released those separately. I don't think.
That's been a while ago.
Yeah, you still might be able to find them somewhere on eBay, but they're still like the best Rat Ogres. The other box of Rat Ogres you can buy are very dated now. There's the one off the Screaming Bell, which is good, but that's basically it.
Oh yeah, you could do like a lot of. They're saying like you could do a lot of like object source lighting with warpstone and things like that.
Make them all black and then do OSL all over the place.
Green everywhere.
It's green, yeah. Get your airbrush out.
No,
it's not. It's going to be this. Oh, this is new. Oh my god, this is new. This Kruleboyz, the fabled Kruleboyz warband.
A monkey.
Baboon. Damn monster killers. Oh, now, okay, you have my interest. They look fantastic.
Red guy skulk in the darkness. Oh, he's wearing like lizardman skin. Like
yeah.
Oh, they are.
They're tasty.
Oh, nice.
They're tasty. Join the Kruleboyz. So one of these should be out in autumn. baboon. They keep
The
right.
egg stealer.
This keeps stealing it. They're on like a baboon high at the moment because you had the what is it? The ghouls. The ghouls had their
Oh, yeah.
baboon.
Yeah.
Everyone needs a couple of pets now in this edition of Warcry, but they look great. I think.
You got 3 generic guys who can probably have a couple of different options,
Hmm.
like spear or weapon.
Yeah.
Monkeys. The leader. The leader looks again a little bit too top heavy.
Yeah, it looks very busy.
Wide.
Yeah, and very wide on top. I think because it's got like the big old shoulder pads.
This is the problem with the Kruleboyz. They're very lanky,
Yeah.
but then they try to make them look like the other orcs by like festering them with stuff.
Sure, yeah, and
And it kind of unbalances them because of like the thin limbs.
that's true. Yeah, I mean the nice thing I think about Kruleboyz and their sculpts in general is that they're not proportioned like orcs, and it makes them distinct from other orcs.
When
But
you try to make them look like a big orc,
yes,
they become a bit kind of unbalanced.
yeah.
Like a grot steals eggs.
Look, if these baboons are even half good, I will do a warband of baboons. That's
Monkey warband.
Yeah, exactly. They just need to be half good. In fact, no, I lie. They don't need to be half good. They just need to be like playable. That's all I need.
The thing is, if this is the warband, it's a 7-man warband.
Yeah.
Which means they're quite possibly all very expensive in terms of points.
Yeah, I mean the basic guys, like your basic Kruleboyz, are not expensive. Like if you look at the Kruleboyz warband, the actual Kruleboyz warband, they're not that expensive. So unless all the points are in double baboon and lord.
Oh, okay. So there's some not shown in the picture.
Aha. So this could very well be like a 10-man warband.
It should be a 10-man warband, but like this is there's 3 that we haven't seen, which is the guy with the horn and a couple of others.
Sure. Very nice. I like that. I like the baboons a lot.
Yeah. Something actually new for the old world. 1 model.
Oh yeah, it'll be like
it's a Bretonnian.
It's a Bretonnian. It's a man on horse.
It looks like a BSB.
Let the
Flags
flags
high and
high.
charge.
Charge, my man.
It's a single battle standard bearer model.
That's it. I feel like this model exists already.
Oh, probably. He's probably a remake of an old.
Yeah,
I think he actually is probably a redo of an old BSB model.
Because I remember a metal battle standard bearer for Brettonnians that looks suspiciously like this. Not so much on like the helmet, but
it probably is. It's just bringing an old model back into new. It's good to see Bretonnian here in a horse. That's where they should be.
Yeah,
interesting. If that's a big flat. I think that's a big flat banner that's either transfer or hand painted.
Yeah, Games Workshop went through there. I mean, it looks like it's hand painted.
Yeah.
They went through their engraved banners phase.
Engraved banners are nice because they do save you having to do something or having just a big flat area.
Yeah, but it does mean that all your guys kind of all look the same. And when you're doing Brettonnians, you want everyone to have their own livery. Like that's half the fun of doing that army.
Yeah.
PSB with a 4-up ward save, and what else is it? There was like a standard loadout for
like the flaming banner.
It's like the cheap lord build is like a great weapon 4-up ward.
Yeah. So it was like flaming banner 4-up save.
Yeah.
He has a B for Bretonnia on his helmet.
He does.
It would be nice if, from the sound of it, saying they might be like different head bits you can put.
Yeah, hopefully, and I'm sure that the heads will be compatible with the other knights and all that kind of thing. So,
but it does also. It's sounding like they're saying they've designed things to rank up better as well.
Yeah. Well, everything's on bigger bases, right? They said like your basic troops are going up in.
The small bases have been 20 mil has been replaced with 25.
Yeah.
I think 25's gone up to 30.
Yes. Because we can all remember, like, okay, I've numbered my entire front rank of guys to make sure. Exactly, yeah. And then, like, the rear ranks, they used to do, like, really long bases that you could fit 5 guys or 4 guys on. And so, generally, in, like, a block of 30 dudes,
you made
20
like,
of them.
pillars in the middle of your unit.
Yeah.
So it looks like the cavalry base might be longer as well. So they may have updated the cavalry bases to be longer.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like
the cavalry bases used to, like, fit the horse almost.
Yeah, and it looks like the proportions of that horse are a little more realistic.
Real. And the old horses weren't actually that bad.
Thank you, Old World, for our amazing one model.
This is letting the tiny galaxy burn. Show us the same video we've seen a dozen times. Oh, that's updated
Those-
weapons on the Warhound.
Our Titans.
Those are Lehman Russes.
Those are Lehman Russes.
Oh,
Charles is excited.
oh, very old Sentinel designs.
very nice.
And wow, the Ogrins as well from Forge Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very, very interesting. They've
Okay.
It looks like they've taken all the Forge World stuff and just scaled.
Legions Imperialis. Not epic.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay, so it comes in a big old box.
Within the Age of Darkness.
Yeah, wow.
Okay. So they've gone for round bases.
Hmm.
Sakarans, Predators, Dreadnoughts. Weirdly, you've got Ogrins, and and that's Imperial.
Yeah, you've got Space
Okay, so
Marines. You've got
and Imperials, yeah. And yeah, no, those are Venetaris storm sections and flamers. So yeah, it's half the box is Imperial, half the box is Marine.
Yeah.
Very nice character models.
Yeah, I mean,
Terminators. Okay,
the
so
last
we've got Marines, Terminators, jump packs. We've got weapon squad ones. Okay, so yeah, nice. The Dreadnought, it looks like they didn't spend a lot of time on the Dreadnoughts. They look a little bit flat.
I'm sure we'll get like a zoom in of those.
But that's a new missile pod arm for the Warhound.
Yes.
Another new gun arm, the double gun.
The double gun, yeah. The claw arm already exists. The
Yeah, but that
other
means
arm
it could be
already
a
exists.
plastic version.
Yeah, probably. I mean, if it comes in this box, it is going to be plastic.
Should, yeah. So
Because they'll just throw a Warhound
got
sprue in there.
Lehman. See, the thing is, though, we've got Lehman Russes, which you don't get Lehman Russ. Is it Forge World does? You do get.
Oh, we got Solar Auxilia in the red. You're basically building. You don't need to just go Space Marines, Guard, whatever.
No. Well,
you
again,
build an
used to
Imperial
be-
army.
You used to be able to do that in the old one.
It's all supposed to be one army, but hopefully they balanced it so that if you get one box, you can play
They
Guard
said
versus.
you could like play the Space Marines on one side and the
Yeah.
Imperials on the other.
Yeah.
It does say epic scale in the bottom corner, which is interesting.
Okay, so they'll expand this. They'll
Okay,
put in the
so
planes. They'll put in more
This
Titans.
is a launch box.
Oh, which means it'll stick around for all of 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The little Space Marines look good. They're talking about consistency and size between old epic models. So I guess they've used the time to make everything kind of the right size.
Yeah, they're saying they are scaled to the Titans and the aircraft.
Very good. Which means the Titans and the aircraft then should be scaled to each other. So Tactical Marines?
They'll most likely release multiple.
Yeah,
The good thing with this is the price point should be relatively low.
I mean, Charles, you've seen the cost of those Forge World bolt pistols and chainswords, right? Like £35 for
But what I'm
5.
saying is, the whole thing is, if this is anything like other games that I've played, the pricing should be like £35 should get you like 50 guys, which should be like 10 bases worth of guys.
Hopefully. So what I'm hoping is, you saw that detachment, which was like, I think 6 units or something. If that's one box and you can buy that in one box, then that's not awful. You get a detachment of Marines.
Well, one detachment had a couple of Terminator stands, a couple of jump pack stands, and some basic.
Yeah.
The other one had two sets of special weapon guys, 2 of heavy weapons. So here we go. Yeah. So those are 5 plasma guns. There's another 5 plasma guns with a leader.
Sure.
They're making it. It's basically 5 models to a base, 10 models, exactly the same as 40k scale.
Yeah. Terminators.
Yeah.
The Dreadnoughts, I think the one on the left looks worse than the one on the right. I think that's just the angle.
That's just going to be painting. Yeah.
I like the angle that you've got it at.
Yeah. I get if they go on kind of old game rules, you didn't have weapon lines like, oh, these guys have got plasma guns, these guys have got missile launchers. You had anti-infantry guns, and then you had anti-tank guns. Well, you had a name of a type of weapon.
Yeah.
But then it was like it had different stats. Sakarans are nice.
Sakarans. I mean, Sakarans, we're getting to the kind of scale when it comes to these tanks that you can do them really, really well in small scale plastic.
Oh, yeah. But again, it's just scale.
Yeah.
And it's even easier because this could quite be single piece hull. Like these could very much be like single. Yeah. So even the rhinos could be a single piece hull because the very old epic ones were.
Yeah, but they were made of metal though.
No. But the plastic ones they did as well were plastic. But like the gun pokes in, the turret sits on, the
Yeah.
two engine bits just clip on.
So you think just like a block with bits on the sides?
It looks like the front bit might be separate, but yeah.
It might be two pieces. So like a piece you put on top and a piece that goes on the bottom to make a cube.
Maybe, yeah.
Seems so auxiliary.
Very nice models. Again, they've scaled down the actual existing models
Yeah.
to fit.
I mean, they're all computer done, right? They're all in CAD, so
Yeah.
you can just scale it down
I mean,
and go, okay,
you
what
can see where they
kinda-
have lost detail in the
Oh
scale.
yeah, sure. But you're going to, like, there's no way you're sculpting on tiny... Like, here are
But
the
also,
rivets on all my guys.
These should be slightly smaller than the Marines because it's all scaled to be right. Yeah, so that... Yeah, there we go. So auxiliary with las rifles, and then they also had the guys with the axes and the guys with the flamers, which are storm sections. Again, they look really nice. So one bad thing compared to other companies at this scale is the way they attach is they've just put a piece of plastic between their feet.
Yeah, and that just sits onto the thing.
So how other companies do it is they have a disc that the model stands on, and then that disc goes into the base.
Oh yeah, it kind of slots in, right?
Yeah. So you don't. So this way you have to paint the bit between the feet, and if you don't texture the base, it won't look so bad.
Yeah.
But when they're on a flat base like this,
yeah, you
quite
see it.
jarringly bad.
These rocks that straddling
between their feet. Yeah. And again, it's a very simple fix. You just put like a layer of any kind of anything to model onto the floor. So I like the texture paints or the crackle paints, and it will just kind of blend it in better. But when they're standing on a flat with these little blobs, it just kind of detracts. And shock troops with axes. So these are new.
It's the on heavy
sentinels. These don't exist in 30k.
No, I've never seen these models before.
Yeah. So this also could mean these are coming to 30k Forge World scale.
Oh, for sure. There's no reason why they would make something specifically for this game.
They haven't also made at 40k scale.
Exactly.
But they're kind of cool. They have very much the style of the 30k tanks.
Yeah, I mean it looks like a tank with legs.
But
if you look at the body,
I mean, the body looks the same as the 30k scale.
Yes.
Like, because you know how they have those like all like the trussing and things like that on the
all that trim.
Yeah.
We got some lemon rusts.
So, yeah.
Lemon rusts.
Which is odd because I can't remember if you can take lemon russes in 30k.
Hopefully they come with sponsons as well. I didn't see any on the box.
They do have the lemon russes in. They might have sponsons.
I mean, if they come with a bunch of different weapon options, and there's no reason not to give them sponsons.
Yeah. So actually, this would be a better design than the Lehman Russ, especially for French, just because of the longer body.
Well, I mean, all of 40k stuff is very loosely based off of
They have.
Did you play? What is it you play? The little
Flames of War.
Flames of War, right? And so, is this the same scale as that then?
No, Flames of War is 15 mil. This is going to be like half the scale of Flames of War. So those 4 guns are a new weapon sprue for the Warhammer. So the Volkite and the Claw are resin. I don't think the other 2 have been.
So it would all be in plastic. If it's in a launch box, it's all
they said this is all plastic. Yeah. But you can see how the missile launcher attaches to the arm. It kind of like it's got like a shoulder joint and then sideways.
A right angle.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way, right? It will never get clearance from the body.
It's more the leg. It's the leg is the clearance.
And possibly these missiles, with that kind of joint, it can pivot up and down, which is what you want out of a set of missiles. But yeah, if it's a good game, I've got 4 Warhounds and a Warlord sitting there.
They were just saying all of these bases are on half thin bases.
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's what they said. Specifically, all the bases are half the thickness.
So people aren't standing on hills.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is what everyone's been asking for, right? You've got Titanicus, which is basically Titans, but you don't have the Orc Titans and Eldar Titans, all this kind of thing. Similarly with Aeronautica, because this is set in the Horus Heresy, we're not going to see
Tau, Necrons, Terran, any of the other ones.
Yeah.
You can use your Imperial planes, and you can use a Space Marine plane.
Yeah. I mean, Tau makes sense because they didn't exist in Horus Heresy.
Yeah. Well.
But Eldar did, Orcs did, Necrons definitely did. They like not all of them were awake, but they're around. All right, if it's a good rule set and the price point is right, then sure, you can try this out because it shouldn't be, I say, with great trepidation, amazingly expensive.
Feel you're going to want a single box for a single person.
Probably. Or if you were really hell bent on just playing Solar Auxiliar or Space Marines, sure, you could split it. But
Oh yeah.
I wonder which side of the box those Titans fall on, to be honest. Probably the Solar Auxiliar side.
I think when you're playing, like from the way they sounded, you would kind of split them in half and you'd get one Titan each.
I do have Britannica stuff, so maybe I can just play that. Yeah, so that was it for their review, Charles. What are you excited for? What do you think?
I do really like the Skaven. I'm kind of excited for Epic because as I've played more and more games,
Small scale games you like,
small
right?
scale. It's not even small scale because like Warcry is a small scale, but it's not small in miniature scale.
Yeah, it's a skirmish
like,
game, but
You can
there's a
play,
difference.
yeah, with a small scale game like Epic, you can actually play an army that matters on board size without being like, oh, I've got 5 Terminators and I'm on a 6-foot board. Where you go, like, well,
Yeah.
I have my tank formations and I have my Titans and I have my planes.
Yeah.
And it makes sense you're playing on a 6-foot board.
Yes.
And suddenly
yes.
bringing a unit with transport vehicles makes sense rather than they're there to get me 12 inches across the board and into charge range.
Yeah, and exactly. It won't be one unit with a transport vehicle. It'll be like 5 or 10.
It'll be like 15 rhinos that drive across the board and then throw out a bunch of Marines.
This is my armored detachment that's going to get
exactly. Instead of like you play 40k and like, well, there's my rhino with 10 guys in it. If that gets blown up, they're probably dead.
Yeah.
But like I say, you could probably play a equivalent 40k game of 5,000 or 6,000 points in the same time it would take you to play 2,000 points of 40k.
For sure. Okay, so Epic for you then.
Epic, yeah, Epic really good.
Tickled your fancy.
The other stuff really all looked really nice as well.
Yeah, I mean, for me, of course, I primarily play Warcry, so baboons. If I could do a whole warband of baboons, I'm telling you, Games Workshop, okay, all you need to do...
Sell me the baboons.
Sell me the baboons, okay? Make them like 100 points, and I will buy 10 baboons. You have my word. I think the big old manticore woman, that's a super cool model.
Fantastic. It's a massive centerpiece model. It's going to be very expensive. You're only going to need one of them.
Exactly.
And it's one of those ones of, is she going to be one of those things that you just have to, but if you're going to place it as a Sigmar, you have to buy her because otherwise you're just shooting yourself in the foot. She is a fantastic Imperial manticore.
Yes, exactly. The other Seas of Sigmar stuff is fine. I won't be playing them, but they look good from a model standpoint. So that was pretty cool. Old World is still just an old prospect for me. It's just a thing. Here's one model. That's it.
I mean, you have an Old World army in a case somewhere that you can just pull out and play with. So.
Exactly. So that's a thing. The new Underworld stuff is great. I think Games Workshop should do more skirmish scale stuff because they really push the boat out for those kind of models.
When your design spec is, you need to make 7 models.
And they need to be unique.
Awesome. I can make 7 unique models. And they put, you can see the time and effort put into 7 guys.
Yes, exactly. And yeah, that's it. That's really it, really. Those are all the things that I'm excited about. What we have to do now is wait for it to be released, and we'll see if we will be disappointed or not. I think that's it from me for today. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please, if you like what you saw, don't forget to like and subscribe as usual, and let us know down in the comments what you thought about the preview, if there's any things that you liked in particular, if anything you didn't like, or anything that you felt were missing. Also, that would be a really good thing to hear. And yeah, so that's it from us. Thank you very much. Goodbye from me, goodbye from Charles.
All right.
And I will see you next time.